I'm enjoying this positive plot twists oracle.
Honestly, one of the hardest things in the world is what to do when you get a hit with a match. Like, it's like, how can it be like more than I only wanted this? So how am I getting more? What is the thing when I'd already thought of what I wanted? And now what is this completely out of nowhere, unrelated thing that happens in addition to that is actually super hard to think of. So when I saw that, I was really happy. Okay, so
Trying to decide what my voice for this character is going to be. I've been thinking about it.
You know, I have been thinking about that too, because I think I know. I think I might need a different last name, but I think I know.
Because it's like I said, is this the Star Trek universe where people named O'Brien have Irish accents?
I mean, if they do, if you say they do, I mean, what his last name should be, if I stick with this thing, his last name should be Beauregard or Leghorn or something like that. But we'll we'll see. It's one of those things that run. You ever seen that comic of like a D&D thing where it's like level 1 and somebody's decided to come up with a melee fighter and they basically made up a circus clown, like, and they're just doing it for the bit, and then you cut to level 20 and it's like, go, get out of the temple, I'll hold it. And, somebody's like, and it's like, I always love you, I know. And then the whole building comes down and everyone's weeping and he's still a clown, but the bit has become the serious.
I've been that guy.
Yeah.
I have absolutely been that guy.
Yeah. So we'll see. This guy, it may end up being a bit, but it might not. Okay, so last time I did one of these games, I ended up starting like totally in media res with amnesia because I have certain drug addictions, and those are 2 of them. So I don't want to lean into that too hard. I think it makes more sense that we're like kind of we know what's going on a little bit, and we're in the midst of things. However, I don't know that we're necessarily together on this first thing, and we're at Providence, Sirocco, the planet of the what do we call it? The precursor vaults and all this other kind of stuff. And I guess the question is that what we want? Is that where you want to start? I like the idea of starting here, moving to Pinnacle, figuring out what's going on, going from there, and like I love that because it kind of lets us go through the whole
sector.
The whole sector, yeah. I kind of dig that.
I was wondering if maybe we could start with, the first thing is I'm watching the scanners for the energy signatures of these vaults appearing up out of the gas, right? Like we talked about.
I mean,
I'm just staring there watching them, and I get this ping saying ship incoming, and they want to talk to you, and I'm like, not right now, they don't.
So here's my suggestion. Let's back this up even further. Okay. So it's like the shot across the horizon line of the gas giant, right? With the roiling clouds and the swirling almost liquid-like gas and everything like that. And then we actually see a vault breach. Like we see the electricity. I saw this wild picture. There's a shot I'll send it over. This post or something that has like the most recent high def pictures of all the planets in the system. Okay. Mm-hmm. And one of them is the picture for Saturn. But what's really cool about Saturn is you can actually see like a ring of lightning down around the pole underneath the clouds. That is some wild. First of all, and aside from that, freaking Jupiter looks amazing, and honestly, so does Venus. Mercury looks absolutely baller. They're all amazing pictures. It's very, very, very cool.
The Uranus picture looks like it could just be a photo of the moon you took with your phone.
Yeah,
pretty far away.
It is pretty far away. So anyway, but like the idea of like the surface, kind of like Jupiter with even more towering clouds, but then you see the electrical signature underneath the clouds, and then you see one of these things breach, like it's bobbing up to the surface and kind of tumbling and stuff like that. What is it? How are you seeing these things?
So I'm on the space station.
No, right, I mean you, Tim. How do you see these vaults that are like? Is it like a gigantic D8 or like?
Well, it's a huge black crystalline pearl because again, the stuff from the atmosphere has glommed onto these stations over time and created this like coating that has to get cracked through in order for you to get to them because it's been polished smooth by the atmosphere and all.
And the electrical interference or interaction and stuff like that. So it's this whole. So they almost have accreted a pearl layer around them, like.
Exactly.
Like an oyster, except instead of the pressure of the clam, it's the pressure of the planet. That is sick as hell. That is so metal.
Exactly. So, and of course, they're all different colors and different swirls, like marbles from the 80s, you know.
And I think, maybe pearls, they're not perfect spheres because they're, it's all electrical signals and stuff like that. And there's these various things. So they're kind of lumping, but pretty. They got a sheen. Cool. And then we cut to you with the signal going, hitting the alert, and people are like, you got a call coming. It's like, no, I don't. Not right now.
Yeah. And I'm just picturing that the way to get into these things is the ships can't navigate these winds. So it's pretty much got to be like Matthew McConaughey from Reign of Fire. You have to jump in a suit.
I need to watch that movie. I was so close to do it to like going, maybe my guy looks like Matthew McConaughey, and then like, no, that's.
Oh, if you watch Reign of Fire, you will change your mind about Matthew McConaughey for sure.
No, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I think he's great, but
I mean in terms of his look and his vibe, because he is a wild man in that.
Well, I'll have to. I don't think I've ever seen that, which is weird.
It would be a good one to watch with Sean. I am 100% sure that Sean will love it.
I'll make a note to myself here to dig it up. Okay. Note made. All right. So cool. You're there and.
Right. And I'm literally standing with a scanner on the edge of a jump platform in a vac suit. And this is a jet vac suit, right? So it's got its own propulsion as well. And I'm watching, like an iPad that's attached to the side of the ship platform, waiting for this thing to come. And I've been monitoring energy signatures, and it's about to bubble up. And I'm literally like braced to jump, and then it goes Diplomat inbound. Inbound.
Do you think you guys are? I mean, because are we so low that we're like, hang on, I got a thought. Are we on the main Providence station, or is this like a grubber like tug kind of thing that like gets you closer to where the surface is going to be?
It's just no ship can go down low enough to get to where they bubble up to because the winds are too crazy.
I gotcha.
And the electricity is too crazy. Only basically suited people are small enough to make it.
So is it just you, or are you bringing like a squad?
I would say there's probably a squad of like 6 of us that are all about to jump, and I'm leading this squad as the sort of main grubber here. And this is one of these things where there's probably other squads that are watching as well. And
for sure.
Not entirely friendly.
I mean, if nothing else, competitive.
And there's probably some layer of parlay type,
Or it's like your turn, but if it's like Jeopardy. Like if you screw up, then the next guys get to go.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't nail your landing, then it's free game. I was trying to think it's like Pirates of the Caribbean rules, like all these Pirates Code stuff. Of like, if you hit it first, it's yours. But if you slip off, then it's not, and it's not.
We will definitely
possibility for people to like grease your boots and things like that.
We will definitely mourn you, but also it will be our turn. So the mourning will be tempered by the not mourning.
Yes. And we will definitely shoot you a safety cable that will bring you back, but too bad for you because you got to be actually attached to it too.
I want to get us on the same like imaginary page. This is maybe too much, but I don't hate that actually. Literally just a platform to drop off of.
Yeah, that's cool.
Something just very much just getting the job done kind of a thing.
Everything's made with recycled parts basically. We
have our little inciting incident event here for you. We're doing a lot of mental world building, I guess, but now this is a part of the thing where it's not science fiction so much as really setting it in the in Starforged really specifically, which is normally you would just do the thing, signal your guys and jump, but it's a Starforged, which means you're the Ironsworn, and you have to like say the vow before you go and do the thing.
Okay. This is
your basic initial like vow for this thing. So set your quest in motion as a response to the inciting incident. Make this move. So I've got it up on the thing, but we'll where's your sheet? What you want?
I have my sheet up.
Let's go over to chat. So when you swear an iron vow, complete a quest, write your vow, give it a rank, then roll plus heart. If you swear this vow, you can just hit the roll thing. It'll know what to do. Hit plus vow, and you're going to add a new one. Let's just make this one troublesome. This is just a basic whatever. And then under the vow, scout, explore.
I'm calling it crack the vault.
Crack the precursor vault, or something like that. Crack the vault. Very simple. And then you just swear an iron vow. And what's this?
All right, boys, we're going in. We're cracking this one, and I don't care what's coming in on the comms channel.
And there's probably like some sort of ritual kind of thing. It's like swear on iron, and they all like swear on iron, and Right. Oh, that's very good. Okay, so that was a 6 plus the 1 for your heart gives you a 7 against the 4 and the 1 that came up on the opposition dice. So you beat, and beat is important because tying goes to the opposition dice. On a strong hit, you are emboldened, and it is clear what you have to do next. Take +2 momentum. So you just tick up your momentum up to +4.
All right, I'm at +4.
The easiest way to explain momentum, that you can read a whole bunch of stuff, but the easiest way to explain momentum is when you burn momentum, the game acts as though you rolled whatever your momentum is right then. So if you get your momentum stacked up to 10 and you burn your momentum, you rolled a 10, okay?
Oh, not +10, but just rolled.
You rolled a 10, yes. So you basically switch your momentum for whatever you rolled, and that will That's kind of how it goes. All right, so now you swear the vow, and you've got that thing locked in. Probably what you're doing, well, first of all, getting down to the...
we're the team is basically trying to hit and stick. Right? That's what we call it, right?
Hit and stick
on the vault.
That's probably really...
We can hit and stick, then we get to claim it. It's
probably really straightforward in that you can... It's essentially it's face danger. If you want to, okay, so I'm gonna point out a couple other moves that you can do just before you do this. One of them is check your gear. When you check to see if you have a specific helpful item or resource, you roll and add your supply. On the strong hit, you have it and you're ready to act, so you can like double check your gear. Drop lines, mag boots, and everybody's calling out their various stuff. So that's a thing you can do. It's really kind of whatever you see. Alternately, just plain up secure an advantage, which is how you are choosing to do, like sort of how you're assessing the situation, making preparation, attempt to gain leverage. It's kind of, I don't know that it's one or the other. You could sort of do both if you really want to, but if we're trying to like have this be a speed thing. So in this case, this is like, you're going to be aggressive about it. So you're like, we're going to move hard. We're going to hit hard. We're going to drop in, you're rolling iron. I'm calling on the fact that I'm just an expert at this, so you're rattling this off. I've done this 100 times. So it's more like a rolling ritz thing. So secure an advantage, checking your gear gives you a momentum thing, but it may mess up some of your stats. With secure an advantage is probably a little bit more beneficial if you don't fail. The nice thing about check your gear is you're not rolling a stat, you're rolling plus supply, and currently your supply is a 5, so it's a really big bonus on your roll, but it may cost you some supply because you're using up some resources and stuff like that. So it's kind of one of them could give you a bigger bonus, but you're not rolling as high, so it's kind of whichever. Or you can just say, fuck it, we ball, and do face danger.
I think secure an advantage is a good idea.
Okay.
I think check your gear. It's like, I feel like if he hadn't checked his gear, he wouldn't be doing this, right?
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, I think table stakes. So I think secure an advantage. I think that's worth trying.
How
you envision your action and roll your relevant stat.
This is why I appreciate the with when you're doing it with this or with this or with this, because it kind of helps me go like, how am I approaching this thing?
Right. I think that this is a coordinate the team sort of thing. So I feel like it's either iron because that's sort of
like aggression,
the vow thing.
Sure.
Yeah, just like we're doing it. We will do this, or it'll be wits of just like, hey, I've done this dozens of times, and I'm analyzing the outside of the vault and figuring out where the best place to land is.
I think either one of those is really
to stick.
Yeah, like
I think let's go wits. It's higher. That'll be more fun. So
yeah,
I'm gonna roll the wits.
Yep. So you just hit the thing and it'll ask you what stat to roll. Oh, that's a 10, but a 6. Okay, so a weak hit. So on a hit, you succeed. If you get a strong hit, you get both of these things. If you get a weak hit, you get to choose either +2 momentum or you get a +1 in your next roll, whichever you'd prefer. Either a +1, which is probably going to be your face danger, or a +2 on your momentum to keep building up that resource for when you really pooch the roll.
I'm going on +2 momentum.
Okay, that gets you up to a nice +6. That's nice and sassy. All right, so we're going in. Like you point out, maybe you get like.
Boys, we're landing on the north end. I want a line. Everybody has to be completely straight. The thing's going to be completely unbalanced, and if we don't land in a straight line, it's going to flip over on us. Straight line.
Straight line. Everyone kind of just repeat. This is very much like a shipboard. You know how everybody on the ship repeats everything back when they're in a sailing ship? Because hearing is difficult. So everyone repeats back, the calls and stuff like that. Because this is the worst of all possible storms all the time. That's the whole planet, constantly.
Exactly.
And from there...
we're basically trying to jump off a ship onto an iceberg, so...
All right, from there, it's face danger.
All right, face danger. When you attempt something risky, envision your action and roll. And so you get to decide which one you would like to do. And again, we're just trying to hit and stick. The main goal right now is to actually just stick to the outside of this thing without it flipping over and throwing us off.
So it feels like iron, maybe?
Yeah, I think iron is probably right. We've done our best to get in the right spot here and, balance. So it's time to
that seems like the
iron.
thing. Good luck.
All right, here we go. Button pushed.
Oh,
that's some low numbers.
Wait, but there's low numbers everywhere. I love low numbers everywhere. That's amazing.
I tied one of them, but tied I lose. So
no, but you get a +2, so you're a 3. It's a 3 over a 2 and a 1. So you get to add. Let's take a look at some oracles. Because we've gotten down this thing and we stick, and we've got precursor vault oracles for. Okay. So we have this outer shell, this pearlescent thing, but the oracle pops up with dispersed structure. So I'm thinking like through this kind of you can make out like that there's maybe 2 that might have like maybe shared maybe they you've run into this a couple times where like the electrical field around some of these things will like cause them to sort of magnetize almost. So a couple of them get stuck together and then they, it's like, it looks like we've got 2 of them down inside there.
All right, which one are we gonna go for, boys? Make a choice. I can't see. I'm trying to keep the display up. I'm like punching away on my iPad here to try to like get the static shoes that we're wearing to
actually like lock on.
There's like a frequency of the radiation that you have to match.
Metallic rocky. Oh, we're getting a weird blend on this. So you're trying to like get on this thing, and it's like a mix of the normal like pearl stuff with like there's like veins of metal in it. That's great because it's probably like the metal veins. You probably have like one of the guys like sort of shuffles his foot on the thing and slides across one of those veins and like jerks. It's like because they're.
And then he starts to like fly off, and I'm like, grab him! We all have to stick, or we're gonna lose our claim.
I like how it's not to save him. We're gonna lose the claim.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the society we built.
Good job, us. All right, so exploration moves.
I'm thinking that maybe make a discovery as
it's make a discovery is when you like there's a specific time when that kicks off. So what you're actually doing, and I know this is gonna feel weird, but you're actually using the same move that we use to travel through space, which is undertake an expedition.
Okay.
And I feel like any one of these is probably dangerous. Like at a minimum level, it's not troublesome, it's dangerous. So basically you're doing this in about somewhere between 4 to 5 moves, or undertake. 4 to 5 legs of this exploration. The first one being, can we crack the shell?
Yes.
All right.
Well, first one is, can we stay stuck? Because we've just discovered that this is really 2 of them under here.
Yeah.
And we have to, again, match frequencies to the emanations coming out of these things to stay stuck. And there's 2 of them, and that's why some of the people aren't sticking. So we got to choose one quick.
Okay. All right. So this actually, you really are just literally trying to crack the vault open and get that I'm the one who opened the door claim.
I mean, I'm honest, I'm the one who stuck to this thing well enough that I can start to open the door. It's like these things are slippery, spinning through a gaseous atmosphere at high speed, and they are emanating crazy radiation.
It isn't even about looting. You're getting claim rights by virtue of being the one who stuck and opened the door.
Right. I'm basically just trying to get on top of the Shai-Hulud at this point.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead and undertake the expedition. So again, this is one where you can select different stats depending on what you're doing.
I'm going to go edge. I'm trying to do this quickly.
Moving at speed. Tricky. Do you have, what are your assets that you have?
I have Gearhead and Scavenger.
And Symbiote.
So Scavenger is probably and Symbiote. But I'd say Scavenger is probably up.
Yeah, when you gather information or reassemble, you're not doing a gather information. Well, you could do gather information.
Figure out where to go here.
Yeah, to figure out like where the weak point is, or where the what the thing needs to be. So you could gather information. So when you gather information by scavenging a wreck, ruin, or abandoned site, So I think this would be gathering information. You could definitely call Scavenger for this, and take +1 momentum on a hit. So your gather information was plus wits. Your wits is a 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So the move Scavenger, if you do this thing and you're using Scavenger, you get a +1 on the roll, which would make your roll an 8.
I see.
So when it asks you, do you get any extra bonuses? You say, yeah, give me a +1. That would give you an 8 against the 7-2. So this would actually be a strong hit. Being a Scavenger gives you a +1 on momentum, but gather information by itself. On a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or the action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn, then take +2 momentum. So you get another +2 momentum from the gather information. So now you're up to
all right.
You were at 6, you went up to 7, and then you get to go up 2 to 9. Right?
Right.
Yep. So on this thing, you get a +1 from Scavenger and a +2. So you should have a 9 moment, which is great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you know exactly. So what do you learn? What do you?
Well, I learned that there's the 2
structures
vaults that are in here, and one of them it looks like has actually been crumpled. It got gravity crunched.
Okay.
And there's no way we're getting in that one, and that's what I realize. And so we've got to take the left-hand one, as we're facing it. And so I reach over and grab, the guy next to me and say, "Grab right," and yank over, and they're like, grab right, and pull everybody over to the.
The grips are easier back here. That one's crushed. We got to do this one. Yeah. Awesome.
Don't argue when it's this bumpy. And the whole thing is just like, seesawing around underneath us, and the only thing that's keeping them on is me like constantly tweaking the static. But we get over all to the right, and I get it locked in on the one to the right, and we're stuck on. So I think that part of it is good, but the problem is the heat of us on here, because these suits are just blowing fire at the bottom of them.
Yeah,
and it is starting to melt through the shell of this thing,
which
is part of the goal. But when it does that, I think there's a chance that it could actually cause them to split and kick the crushed one off, which is going to send the whole thing spinning.
Yeah.
So maybe we do. I don't know. That could be a face danger, or I don't know if there's another move we want to do to see if that happens.
I think for this one, nothing. So I like where your mind's at. However, you've been rolling well. So I think what we do is we save things like that shit happening for when we roll bad and you got consequences to deal with. Because it's easy, because it's like, oh, well, that thing that we thought was going to happen, it's happening. Time to face danger. Right now, I think you move out into the more the bulbous part of it and undertake your expedition. This is when you roll for edge. So the gather information. This is what I get nervous about. Say I'm rolling. It's like, oh, my edge is terrible. I want to do a move ahead of time to give myself as much boost as I can, because the edge is going to be a bad roll.
Yeah, my edge is only 1.
Let me have my momentum. That kind of thing. So.
All right. So I'm rolling undertake.
Undertake an expedition, rolling at speed. So plus edge. Ooh, Oh, that 10. That 10. All right, so that's a miss. Yeah. However, this is perfect, actually. A great way of... on a miss, you're waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. Now, you'll see there at the bottom, burn momentum to give yourself a weak hit. Mm-hmm. So, because what you can do is basically make your roll a 9, and it switches from a weak hit to... So you've been moving fast, you're building up all this thing, you're picking up all the stuff, and then this is when you can roll with that... you can basically use your own momentum to stay ahead of the disaster.
So when I burn the momentum, does it drop me back to 0, or does it just knock me down 1?
Drops you to 2. The reset on momentum typically is 2. If you are working, there's certain injuries that you can pick up where your reset level drops, and there's certain abilities that you can have, like Veteran, which changes your momentum reset value to a different number in certain circumstances. So like with a Veteran, if you're in the middle of a fight, your momentum reset is higher because you don't let your momentum drop as far in those kinds of situations because you're used to those kinds of situations. So
got it.
So it resets to a 2.
I think I'm not going to burn the momentum yet. I think let's see if we can find a pay the price here.
Okay. So you can actually just click on that link to pay the price under Undertake an Expedition, and or in the little text readout, and I think it should kick you over to that oracle.
Yeah, it can. Yep, I got it.
I often use this because a lot of times people will go like, "Oh, pay the price, I got hurt," and that's a really good way to die in like the second session of Ironsworn. But this could be, so this is there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Now the trick is with pay the price is this shit happens and then you can start dealing with it. It isn't like these are the consequences landing, not like, oh, now you can do face danger to make it not happen.
Right. It is happening.
Yeah. But it's a question of what else is going on in here. These are a lot of fun to just roll on, but you can also just pick stuff.
Yeah, I think we're going to roll it. I mean, at this point, why not?
Yeah.
Lean into it.
And if it go. What do we end up with?
Tough choice.
You face a tough choice. Okay. So what would be a tough choice? So you were moving.
Well, so again,
you were moving forward. You were trying to lock, right? That's where you're trying to lock on? So you already established that if anybody flies off of this thing, your thing...
Our claim is void until... or I guess our claim is somebody else can latch, and if they stay latched, then they get it. They stay stuck. So we hit first. We did good. We hit. But if somebody flies off, somebody else could land, and if they stick, then they get it. If they don't, then we get. We can come back.
All right, bear with me for a second.
So that's one option. The other option is
neither one of those.
I'm looking at the entry point into this thing. I'm looking at the best one, but it's not going to happen. Like I'm suddenly realizing that it's too unstable. I'm going to have to pick the worst possible entry point for this thing.
Yeah.
Of course, there's also everyone has to stay stuck, but they don't have to be alive.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe this is the tough choice. The tough choice is you stick with this entrance, but it's going to be extremely risky. The risk of damage to the crew, like injury to the crew, is way higher. Or you've got what you can settle in right now and go for like a breach, but the risk of injury to the crew is a lot higher. Or you go for a secondary access point that's not going to be as risky, but it means you traversing this thing and taking more time with it.
And it could flip, or something else could happen too.
Right? The more time you're on the outside of this thing, the worse off the situation is, right? So it's, do you go for safer but slower, or do you go for speedy but definitely risking your crew on this thing?
I'm thinking that I'm looking down at this thing and I'm seeing this main entrance, and it looks like it's probably trapped, right? Like I can see just the signs and signals on the outside that I've seen before that mean that whoever opens this thing probably going to suffer some ouchiness.
Okay.
And on the other hand, it's probably the most direct way in. So the choice is, do I go look for another entrance that's probably not as obviously trapped?
I think we represent this by like knocking your momentum down a couple of points, because you've got to like reset and move.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Momentum goes down.
Think about it.
So we're not doing this. We're going to move around the equator.
It's trapped. Look for the back door.
You hear them like, how could he even know? We can't even see the entrance from in here.
And then one guy mutters, Yeah, at least he's not just sending one of us forward to get zapped.
I think for this one, it's probably going to be face danger again, because you just have to traverse the outside of this thing. So the question is, how are you?
Yeah, and I don't think anything but edge makes. I think edge still makes the most sense.
Well, I could
in terms of
see.
traversing, although we could do wits to try to find the second entrance.
Yeah, I could also see endurance, like because you're like you're not doing this. You're not opting for the speedy option. You're opting for dragging yourself across the surface over to another thing. So I could see that also.
Right. And it's really about, again, keeping the team together, just being like,
yeah,
come on,
stay together, hold
on.
All right, yeah, I like that.
Face danger then. Face danger. Here we go.
Oh God, those numbers are high.
No, I don't think it's going to go.
And this is one of those situations. Man, this is rough too. Okay, so this is one of those situations where the momentum won't help you either, because the momentum makes it as though you rolled a 7, which is again the same problem.
Would tie at best. Yeah.
Okay, on a miss you fail, or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. Again, we look at that delicious pay the price oracle. As your I didn't mean to roll. Equipment or vehicle malfunctions is fun though.
It is. I re-rolled. I like waste resources. Like we had to stop because like the whole thing like shifted and we had to all lock down tight to it. And like there's like a child's pose thing where you just like
you've got like these like almost like flare guns, but they like fire bolts into the thing, and it's like because the thing's actually starting to move, and you're like lock on, and it's like so you're pulling out. And just to indicate that we're wasting these resources, so waste resources, I think I got to look at this thing real quick. I got to pull up my book.
So knock my supply down by 1 or something?
It's either 1 or 2, and I can't remember which.
A move called sacrifice resources?
Yeah, if you deplete resources or lose sacrifice resource. You lose or consume resources, suffer -1 supply for a minor loss, +2 for a serious loss, or -3 for a major loss. If your supplies I would say it's probably just a -1.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so supply down by 1. I think one of the guys who's like your second in command.
Beauregard.
Beauregard. All right. You're doing this thing. It's pitching back and forth. You've locked this thing on. We've only got like 3 more of those. What are we doing, Tolari? And we cut right there, like away from the storm to the other guy, the other character.
Okay. Yeah, and I like the idea that it cuts, on a lightning strike that is coming across the sky and, and out into the outer atmosphere where your ship is coming in to dock with the main Cloud City.
Oh yeah, no, I so the lightning crash and the chaos and the tossing and stuff, and we cut to basically the absolute calm of a conference chamber.
Yes.
Like the horseshoe of the almost the Star Trek desk or something. It's not that nice because obviously nothing is that nice.
Except that there's like duct tape on most of it.
Yeah. But the horseshoe table, and there's different people, like there's different groups, a couple different groups, and they're sort of whispering each other. And my guy, and I never did find a picture that I really like, so I actually just spent some time in Hero Forge, as I usually inevitably end up doing. But he's over kind of away from the other factions. Okay. And I'm looking at that. We see him looking at one group and see him looking at the other group. And then he kind of reaches down with his left hand on his right hand and puts it on the hilt of his sword. And it said, I swear by iron that I will protect the people of the Golden Oasis, even if it be from themselves. And I'm going to do the move, the little move.
I don't know if it's a good for the moment or bad for the moment, but like in Demolition Man, whenever he swears, there's the little ticket that comes out of the machine.
Little bing.
I just wonder if like all these ships, because of the tuning to Ironsworn, as soon as an Ironsworn swears a vow, if there's something that says a vow has been sworn.
Yeah. I don't know. Resolve dispute between Providence and Pinnacle.
Well, I mean, it could be something as simple as you have come to grab me for this mission, and they don't want me to go because I am the one who supplies them with all of these
I think I'm in the same situation as you, where I'm going to get a call for this, like, you've got an incoming thing. It's like, no.
Back on Pinnacle. Okay.
I think we both are like, we should have answered faster, but we've got more important shit to do because we didn't realize how important the other thing was. So we're like dealing with these little troublesome deals. And
well, then I think it would be more fun if it was between, if Providence was trying to get more resources. That's got to be most conversations.
Say Grubbers and we'll call it Pinnacle QM for Quartermaster, but we've honestly forgotten what the QM stood for. It's just like they're the ones who handle resource management and stuff. Like, we need some backup over here, and we haven't probably had a lot of luck with the thing. So okay, so they've been arguing this kind of thing, and I need to roll my quest move, which is Swearing an Iron Vow. I'm going to look at my assets because some of mine are actually okay. So I have Banner Sworn, which gives me, when you swear an iron vow in service to this ideology, reroll any dice. On a hit, you can mark one tick on your bond's legacy track. And I don't think Diplomat, when you swear an iron vow to resolve a dispute, negotiate an agreement, or gather support, add +1. I get all kinds of good stuff for swearing vows. It's fantastic. I love this. All right, so I'm going to hit my little roll here, and it will ask me if I have any ads. I'm going to say, yes, I have one. And we'll roll. Oh, that one. That one. Jesus, that's terrible. Right away. Okay, so on a miss, you must overcome a significant obstacle before you can even begin your quest. Envision what stands in your way. That sucks. Okay. I think, help me out with this. I'm thinking that I am not welcome in these negotiations. They don't want a Banner Sworn in this thing, even in the first place.
No, in fact, they specifically did not invite you, and you invited yourself.
I showed up anyway.
They couldn't bar you from the conference room because of your nature as an Ironsworn, but they also were like, no, thank you.
Okay. Who? Going to get an oracle here. We're going to do character. We have a character oracle.
And I think that the quartermaster in particular just does not like
that. Is entirely fair. So his family name is Cade, Quartermaster Cade. What? Give me something to work off of here. Like what is he? Because I'm starting to step forward, and he just immediately like.
Yeah, you swear your vow, and his ears just immediately, because he's got like all this circuitry and around his ears.
Sure. Okay.
And he immediately is just like snaps his head over to you, and is like, no. Out of the room.
Now, Quartermaster Kate, I understand that this is a closed conference, but I also understand, if you'll forgive me, that you and our esteemed counterparts here at Providence have been at an impasse for several weeks. People are suffering.
We're not at an impasse. The truth is, we have no resources to give them. It is not a question of me giving them stuff that we don't have.
This is an argument that you have made. I'm aware of it. I have been listening, as you know, quietly, patiently, humbly, for many days, as you have made this argument. And yet, our brothers here at Providence have made their case for their desperate need. And their argument is also, well, very compelling. And again, I am merely a humble participant called upon to hear both sides of the argument. I understand your reluctance to allow me in the proceedings. If you will give me only a moment, I will explain the benefit.
There's nothing that someone who is not technical could understand. You do not understand that they're asking for a radiation containment to be made from pieces of pottery that we had in the garden. That is what they want to make radiation shielding, and it will not work, and I will not give it to them. We have no radiation shielding. Too bad.
That's excellent. I love that. I understand, and you're right. You're absolutely right. This is a very technical situation, and I am not a scientist. I'm not an engineer.
You are barely a member of this crew as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I suppose that is, everyone has a right to their opinion. But if you'll forgive me, I would like to point out a strength that I do possess. I'm going to try to roll. I'm going to try to roll hard. I'm going to try to roll hard again, just to give this guy the just to try to convince them that I should be here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I should do the bit first and then roll, or roll and then do the bit. It's funnier if I do the bit and then it fails.
Do the bit, yeah. Then we'll see. Then the bit will get modified.
So you are great men. You are planners, engineers, scientists, as we've already said. Men of power, men of faith and loyalty to the people of that, all the people that have striven to survive in this dangerous place. You have many qualities that I cannot possibly possess. I, however, if you forgive me, as a humble man, to say that I have one quality that no one else in this room can lay claim to, humble as I am. I don't care about either of you. Not one damn bit. And as such, I am the only person in this room who can say to have absolutely no bias as to what the decision must be. This argument, as important as it is to me a classroom disagreement in the circle creche amongst children. It doesn't matter to me one bit, but it allows me to see the gaps in the reasoning on both sides, if you'll forgive me. And
the lady who's representing the other faction says, "You're not really endearing yourself to us, sir."
No, I don't suppose I probably am. That is absolutely true. That is definitely true. But again, I would remind you of my strength. I don't care. I'm going to roll my heart, and I'm going to hope, because goddamn Starforged and its goddamn dice will screw me every time.
Well, now is it straight heart, or is it part of some move?
No, this is not. It's a compel. What I'm doing is I'm rolling compel. When you try to persuade someone or make them an offer, charm, pacify, encourage, or barter. I'm trying to be charming. We'll see how that actually works. It's not going to be good. God dang it! All right, so that's fine because I did the whole bit.
Yeah. And I'll have to say your bit was not particularly charming. So
no, that's fine. Well, it's one of those things where you say the quiet part out loud, but you say it so nicely that people just don't feel like they can really yell at you. So I think the next thing that happens, first of all, I think I probably take a momentum hit of a couple, just because that
you haven't really gained any momentum. That's
no, and that definitely does not get me anywhere. This is great. I am definitely a very good diplomat. This will be fantastic. I think
are you picked last for the ship for a reason?
Well, it could be. It could very well be. I mean, I should be good at heart. It's a 3, but the problem is, as many people have observed, he's very good at what he does, but his dice fucking hate him. That's just like in character. What people just no. Okay, so I think the very night, like there's this pause, and then there's a cut to me like getting out of the door with just nothing but yelling in the background of the conference room as I extricate myself. Like, all right. I think you're all on the same page now. I think you should be able to work that out. And I close that. I was like,
the guard at the door turns to look to you and says, "Thanks for not making me yank you out this time."
Oh, the last time was just awkward for the both of us. How is your how is your mother?
She's doing good. You know, she likes the gardens.
Yeah.
It's of course it's the quartermaster's niece who loves the gardens and the pottery in the gardens. I think that's why he doesn't want to give it up.
You know what it is? What the thing is, they make a good point. I mean, the reason that the pottery works is that it protects the roots from the radiation. I mean, it does work. That puts the plants at some danger. It's not a problem I need to solve. One way or the other, they're going to work it out, and they don't actually want my help. I did what I could as a favor to the sisterhood, but they clearly aren't looking for my help. And if I can be honest with you, Samuel, put my arm on his shoulder. I am just so damn tired of hearing the same arguments month after month after month after month. I need something else. I'm going to go walk the promenade. If they come looking for me, well, I imagine at that same time I will see pigs fly by, and I'll know.
Good luck. Hopefully something new will happen around here.
So as I'm turning and walking and heading back away from this and heading like up to the thing, I hear like I've got like the little. What did we decide? What do we ultimately want to have our little comms device be called? I pitched all those different names.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like
thought there was
scrap,
one-
but where was all that? That was in the text thing, wasn't it? We had all these different names for.
Oh yeah, you have the whole thing about because they're Eidolon communicators, right?
Well, there was, you call them idols or edals or what, edals or whatever. Criers, because they kind of like update and then they kick out all the news articles. Scraps for, since they're repurposed tech and that sort of thing. Pals for personal access link, my pal.
Yeah, I think PAL is probably the way to go.
Okay, so yeah, on the way up to the thing, my pal like chirps at me and I look at it and I see that it's like, I'm like, no, I'm not again. And I just put that back in my. This guy is turning. He's just like this weird riverboat gambler plus Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday plus like
Well, I'm very much thinking like Name of the Wind, Charles Darrow, like attorney kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah, the guy. I was thinking the guy. I mean, he's sort of accidentally, because we just watched it, like the Daniel Craig's dude from the Knives Out movies a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
I started with the sort of the Val Kilmer, like, but as the degenerate gambler, not the gunslinger kind of thing. But he does have a bit of danger in there to him. But this argument, at least, was like definitely that frustration with like dumb people going, no, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
That's why. It's so dumb.
I'm just so tired. So, and that's the same reaction. He pulls out the thing and kind of looks at it, and it's some name that he just like, oh no, I'm not again. And I'm just going straight past it and, swiping left and heading back out to the like the promenade that lets you like look out over the sea.
The PAL buzzes more aggressively.
And I think as a transition, I get up there to a thing where you can like look out of like some sort of viewport or something like that. And I'm looking down at the surface of the planet down below and the lightning and stuff like that. And just like, oh, that's looking a little bit agitated down there. And we cut to, This is going great. Absolutely top notch. I'm
going to go grab a drink before we resume my suffering here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Well, I have covered myself in shame and glory. Let's get back to you, hopefully doing something cool and heroic.
So I'm thinking that I'm back to undertake an expedition. I'm still trying to find the entrance to this thing.
Yeah, I think
it also could be explore a waypoint.
I don't think it's explore a waypoint because we haven't really established that there is a waypoint yet, but definitely undertake an expedition would be, I think, is probably the first.
Yeah. Because I think we haven't even gotten in here yet.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to go.
So you've gotten to the new point. Let's undertake this thing. And unfortunately, because of the way we kind of set up the thing, keep under the radar doesn't exactly work in this situation, but that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm going to use wits, I think, because I'm trying to find that second entrance.
Actually, I'm going to take that back. There is a situation where I could see Rolling Shadow if you're trying not to set off some sort of defensive thing, but that's probably after the first crack, maybe? Like for that first... I think so. Ooh, I see that 6. That looks much better. Strong hit!
9, yeah, there we go.
Love to see it. All right, on a strong hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress. So this is the crack, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
so
we found the entrance, and the jets are applied. We basically all stand with our backs to each other so that our jetpacks are melting it through.
Nice. So on the progress tracker for Crack the Vault, there's a little arrow, like a caret, the right-handed arrow over the top, and you click that, and it checks off. So since it's only troublesome, it'll check off a full 3 boxes.
I see.
So you can get. Statistically, you're in pretty good shape of probably at least being able to finish with some kind of dignity if you get up around 6 boxes filled up. It feels a lot safer to be up around 8 or 9. Obviously, if it's full up, but I have seen ones that are completely full up and they still fail because you get double 10s or whatever. It's just, it stinks. But you don't need a lot, right? Okay, so envision a waypoint. So now we have the, so envision the location and mark progress per the location. Explore waypoint is the thing that you can definitely do right at this point. But let's see what the waypoint probably is. And that's Oracle's, I think probably, I'm looking at the Precursor Vault Interior Oracles. Interior thrumming or droning sound. Not at all ominous. Now, if you want, so I guess go back. If you look at the move for Undertake an Expedition, so if you're doing Undertake an Expedition, you're going to continue on. This is like, okay, it's thrumming. It's on. I'm not going to mess with this very much. I just want to get the door cracked and get the hell out of here.
Oh no, I think I'm going to explore a waypoint at this point.
I guess the question is, do you want to, because if you're exploring the waypoint, you're going to check out like the door and honestly just see if there's anything right here that you can learn or find out or make a discovery or anything like that right from where you are before you even, or you say, screw it and just try to crack the door open and don't worry about this particular waypoint. We've got the thrumming, vibrating entrance move on.
I'm reading the subtitle of Explore a Waypoint, which says when you divert from an exposition.
Yeah, you're putting a pause on the crack the vault to, hang on a second, let me see if I can figure out what's going on here.
Let's not do that. I think we're going straight in.
All right. So in this case, this is one of those situations where I feel like keep under the radar, roll shadow actually makes sense because you're trying to like make sure you don't.
I'm trying to get it open because I'm sure that it's trapped. It's just not as nastily trapped as the front door was,
or at least not as obviously. Let's find out.
So I see for exploration moves, there's make a discovery and confront chaos. How do we know which one of those we're going to be doing?
It tells you. So make a discovery usually comes up when you're so for instance, if you look at explore a waypoint and you are exploring the waypoint and you get a strong hit with a match, you make a discovery.
Right.
And if you get a miss with a match, you confront chaos.
So then we're going back to Undertake and we're going to go in through the door now.
Yep. You could also use Scavenger to gather information and see, mostly just to build up your momentum track.
Yeah, let's play that.
The other thing, I'm looking at what this symbiote does for you.
Yeah, it keeps me from enduring harm or stress, basically. It's the instant.
You are physically bound to a being with 2 health. When you make an aggressive move while giving yourself to the symbiote's power, you add its health. Okay, so it's also good for attacks.
It's 10, unfortunately.
It's a weak hit. It's going to be a weak hit no matter what, but you did roll with wits. It was technically a 10 because you do get but it gives you the same response because a 10's unbeatable. Because you get a +1. You do get a hit though, so you take +1 momentum for that. So that goes up to an 8. And then which is from Scavenger, but then gather information on a weak hit. The information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. So you get another +1 momentum. You're still up at +9. There is a oracle for the precursor.
Hey.
Okay, so that kind of ties in. So we already established there's a thrumming and kind of a vibration, unnerving sensation.
Yeah, I think I'm reaching down. We've burned it so that we can get to the door. I can see that there's runes on the door that are very clearly, some sort of protection, but they don't look as obviously dangerous as the ones on the front door. So I'm just going to go for it, hoping my suit will protect me. And the minute that my hand touches it, it's just like, sticking my hand in an electric socket. I just feel incredibly like static electricity through my whole body.
Did you ever read Tommy Knockers?
Oh, way back in the 80s.
Way back. I'm just this is a terrible thing because you can't do anything about it with the helmet on. But you kind of you're almost sure you can like as soon as that thing hits and you kind of feel it in your molars, you kind of sniffle and it's like you're almost sure that you've got a nosebleed.
Right.
Like almost instantaneously from this contact, you're manifesting a nosebleed. Fantastic. I'm just going to put that in a little bit of foreshadowing for whatever the hell else.
Well, I also think that we do something where the symbiote squeals inside, squeals silently inside me.
And, which nobody else is hearing anything about. You're like, yeah, so there's like a reaction there inside of that. Yeah. You did a really funny thing right then because you made that face, but also your camera lost focus for a second. And I honestly think that would be the effect where you're like, oh, and you kind of lose focus and then come back into focus after that. Bit. Okay. So now I would do, okay. So we've established that you've got your momentum up and,
all right. I think we're going to do Undertake Shadow then next.
Yeah. Undertake Shadow.
Try to get in this thing without
Undertake with Shadow. Yeah. That sounds good. It looks a lot better. It's still a weak hit. Oh, because of Shadow. Okay. That gets you to a 6. That was a weak hit. So, on a weak hit, you reach a waypoint, but this progress costs you. Envision the location and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. Perfect. That's fine. Choose one. Suffer cost en route. Make a suffer move at -2 or 2 suffer moves at -1. Face a peril at the waypoint. Envision what you encounter. All right. So there's 2 options here. Either basically take some damage, like you could do. So basically, let me break this down. I'll do the really quick version. You can say, I'm going to take -2 health. Or you can say, I'm going to take -2 spirit. Or I'm going to, whatever. Or you can say, I'm going to take -1 spirit and -1 health and just have them both tick down 1. You could say, I'm going to take -2 momentum because now I'm scared and I don't want to go rushing in. So you can kind of take damage to anything. You could even go, I'm going to take -1 to my health and -1 to the symbiote's health. I don't necessarily recommend that yet, but you could if you wanted to, because that immediately starts you into the whole thing about like, how do I heal my symbiote later? And you had things squealing in its head, so you could get some sort of worse feedback as the door opens and it takes some damage and you take some damage. Because that's another suffer move, is the companion takes damage. So
I see the companion takes a hit. Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of poetry in both of you taking a small hit. It's more of a it's a bigger hit. I'm
gonna knock both of our health down by 1
as you get through this thing, and you're both like, so it's almost like you become the electrical ground for whatever the hell you breach this thing. But it there's no electricity on this. It's some kind of, it's Tommyknocker feedback. Weird, it's whatever the hell is. It's been a long time since I've read time.
There's basically this glow that just shoots all around me and is sparking, and like it's the classic sort of like you see the skull inside the flesh for a moment, and then it's gone, and like the other guys look over and they're like, "How did he survive that?"
I love that. All right, so you can do both the vow and the vault expedition progress. Okay. All right, so envision the waypoint, right? Because you've got to a new waypoint where the door is cracked.
I think the door, basically just vanishes. For some reason, these doors on these vaults don't really open; they just go away.
You hear over the mic, like from one of the other guys, like, I hate when they do that.
Yeah. It just kind of goes away, and I can see inside. It looks like there is a bit of a passage and some multiple kind of, little sub vaults inside, but it does look like there's that weird sticky residue on the back of the door. Looks like something's been in here.
The signs of invasive creatures kind of echoes that. You've got the gooey, sticky stuff.
I saw that. Yeah. It's just gooey, sticky stuff where the door was. It's kind of like a webbing that I have to clear out to get in.
And you hear one of the other guys go, "Oh God, it's one of the wet ones."
Yeah,
I hate the wet ones.
Guys, I'm running out of jet fuel here. Somebody give me a torture.
It gets handed up. They tick 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 up through the thing.
And I try to get this bird away.
Cutting through all this stuff. All right, I think probably yes. You've got the webbing in the way. Let's do this as another undertake the expedition, but geez, maybe iron.
Okay, I like it.
It's like kind of because you're basically attacking this thing to get through here, right?
Iron's not an option.
Oh, right, exploration moves, right. Undertake an expedition. Well, let me think about that.
I'm not trying to go fast though, so it's probably going to be wits again.
That one.
Ooh, that one is not good. Miss with a match.
Oh, double 6. Oh, okay. Oh no. Okay, so on a miss. Okay, envision your location, mark progress. On a miss, you're waylaid by a crisis, so you arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress, pay the price. A new enemy is revealed, but I want to also kind of, if we look at explore way, because the miss with the match thing, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't confront chaos.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm thinking that I'm burning this away as I have on many of these vaults, and it is off-gassing in a very strange way. And it is something bad is going to happen, and we're going to find out what that is with the confront chaos.
So that's under it's under exploration. It's down below there. So when your exploration of a waypoint uncovers something dreadful, decide the number of aspects, 1, 2, or 3. Roll that number of times or choose that number of aspects on the table below. Then envision how the encounter begins. For each result, when you first confront that aspect within the scope of the encounter, you may mark 1 tick on your Discovery's Legacy track because you have learned something horrible about the universe.
There you go.
Oh my God! Worshippers of the great. So are we doing 1, 2, or 3? 3 might be a lot, but maybe 2.
I think 1 is fine for our opening scene here.
Okay, we're okay. Worshippers of great and malevolent powers. All right.
Yeah, I have never encountered this kind of vault before, despite being the most senior kind of vault cracker in the place. And I do this, and this sticky webbing, as it burns from the torch, just attaches itself to my helmet and webs around it. And my symbiote is screaming as these things are essentially trying to take me over entirely.
That is terrifying.
They were asleep, but I woke them up with the torch.
Yeah,
and now they're angry.
Nobody really likes to be.
Yeah, I think again my symbiote is screaming.
Yeah. Okay. Friend, companion, ally. All right, and everybody else is yelling their fucking heads off about this whole thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the webbing hits my helmet and starts, like, you can see it's like starting to burn through my helmet, and I'm screaming, and there's, horrible whispers shouting in my mind, and my symbiote is screaming, everyone is screaming, and we cut back to the garden level of the space station.
Okay. Actually, now I don't want to, at the risk of saying it was all a dream, okay? Because it actually totally makes sense to me. We did a miss with a match. However, you had the momentum to make it a strong hit with a match instead.
Right, I saw that.
Okay. So that could be a situation where you are literally given a vision of what's about to happen and flip the script. Like, you see all of that and could and you see all of that, and at the last second, instead of the confront chaos, which is probably still kind of like an extant threat, we instead look up the make a discovery thing. Well, actually, it could be gathering this stuff. But
I don't want to roll back on it. I would like to go forward, but I do want to use my momentum in the next thing to basically figure out how to get out of it.
It's one of the magical things about the momentum thing, because if you hit it with a match, it's so bad, but unless it's like double tens and you've got good momentum, you can turn the worst possible result into the best possible result, which is really like the best. I mean, there is no better burn for momentum.
I agree. I just don't necessarily love the idea of going backwards, but what if everything happens, but these things weren't counting on the symbiote? And so I use it and it happens, but then the symbiote is like, oh no, I know you people. I know how to deal with you people. And the symbiote like strikes back through our connection and burns them off. But I think that still happens when we come back from our cut up to you in the
well, I say cut because it's actually stopping time. I mean, like, this is a very good place to actually stop.
Sure, but I think this would be great to be like, what's happening off screen is the symbiote is fighting these things off. But I think from our Doctor Who, cliffhanger at the end of the segment.
Yeah, we do the scream. We do the symbiote scream or something. Yeah, I love that. There is so if you look at Make a Discovery, there's a whole oracle there too that you can take a look at and maybe pick, do a little pick list from or roll from, or clues to a crucial resource or uncharted domain. I love the idea that you get like a psychic Google Maps pin in your head of like.
It's like reading a Cthulhu book, right? Suddenly you know more about the darkness.
Like, there is a place you need to go, which is.
I see what you.
Yeah, like a pin suddenly drops in your map of the local sectors. That would be. I mean, that'd be great. Especially if it was over in the Cobalt Reach. It was like, actually, I have an ulterior motive now.
So like we see basically the home area of these, worshippers of a dark power that were trapped inside this vault.
Yeah, some place, and you get a sense of where that's actually at, that's excellent. Love that. I made a fool out of myself, but I'm making enemies. It's great. I think I'm still happy with it because it establishes that I am really sick to death of the day-to-day diplomacy of just the petty stuff. Like,
I think there's nothing more important for a character at the beginning of an adventure to be like, why do you want to leave?
Yeah.
Right? Why do you want to become an adventurer?
Benoit Blanc is very tired of playing Clue and would like an honest-to-God fucking murder mystery. Now, I can't be Benoit Blanc. I cannot be because my wit is 1. Like 100% can't be. But I do love that it definitely establishes I am just so fucking done with the pedestrian day-to-day of you people. And your thing, top notch, terrible. All right.